kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. Process. I've been learning and I've been seeing, and it's just been on my heart to talk about process because but okay. So we kind of always want things quick and fast, and we don't understand that there is a process that everything goes through in this world, and I wanted them, and we have to really, really be careful about that because if you haven't looked at my blog about scrapping your success timeline, then you really should read that, because once you start putting dates, even though it's not bad to plan, I'm not saying that, but once you start putting exact dates, exact times, definite expectations on these things, and they don't turn out the way that you want them to turn out, then you start to get upset. You start to feel like you failed. You know, I had to kind of stray away from, I want this internship to be out of state, and then that out of state internship is going to get me a job in Chicago, and when I get that job in Chicago, I'm gonna work this for that long, and then I'm gonna move up, and then I'm gonna do this and do that. And it's just like, girl, you don't even know, like, how many times in life have we thought something was going to go some way, and then it got directed another way, and at the time it was confusing or frustrating, but then it all worked together. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we have to appreciate that process, and we don't understand how we hinder ourselves when we start to put definite expectations on those processes. I don't even know if that's the word I'm really looking for, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. When you start putting definite things on how things should turn out in your life, then you start to get confused. You start to get upset because they may not turn out the way that you want them to turn out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just not how life works. And I had to, my mom really helped me with that, you know, saying, Chantel, if it's for you, it'll happen, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen when you want it to happen. I don't know about guys, but girls, we tend to do this when we're young. By 25, I'm going to be married. I'm going to have 3 kids. Their name's going to be Barack, Michelle, Sanaya, and, you know, whoever. How many kids I say I was having? But we tend to do that. We tend to put things on this, and when I'm this age, I'm going to do that. And you may even still be doing that now. By 27, I need to be admitted into law school, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. But sometimes you have to be cool. Like, I'm going to get into law school. But you don't have to put no time on it, because for me, I've seen that it really has a major effect on you. It puts a lot of stress on you, because then you're like, okay, because at the beginning of the semester, I was like, man, Chicago's so expensive. Where am I going to get this money? Okay, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to get this job. I got to get that job. And that, here you go right here. I had said that I was going to work my internship and then also have another job this summer. But it's so funny how sometimes it doesn't work out like that, and I feel like sometimes it's God telling me that I got this worked out. You don't need to do no 2 jobs. If you trust me, you trust me. You'll be fine. Wherever I put you is where I put you, and you're going to be taken care of. So I had to get that in my mind, like, okay, sometimes we jump in front of ourselves. We kind of try to handle things on our own, and then it puts a big strain on us. We're stressed out because we're trying to do this and we're trying to do that just to make sure we get there at that time, and that time may not be ready for us, and we might not be ready for it. And that's another thing why I want you guys to understand about process. Everything goes through process. When you go to Krispy Kreme, if y'all have Krispy Kreme, you see they have for you to see how the donuts go. The donuts go through the dough. You know, they got to get beat, they got to get kneaded, they got to get this, they got to get stretched, they got to get pulled, they got to get tussled with, and all of those things. And then they get molded. You see, they get molded. They get molded into the circle, or, you know, donut holes. So they got to get punched out. The donut holes got to get punched out. And, you know, those little metal things, they got to get that. And then they got to go through something else so they can rise up to where they're supposed to be, the exact level where they're supposed to be. And then they got to go through the glazing process. You know, they start to get beautified because they've been through all this kneading and pressing and, you know, pulling and stretching of them and being molded. Then they go through the glaze, and if they are a specialty type of donut, it's as good. Where does this come from? There might be a specialty type of donut, so then you have to get the chocolate put on you. You might have to get the sprinkles put on you, or whatever the case may be. Or you might be a curler, so then you got different layers to you. You know, you got these different layers, and then you go, and then you're presented as whole. You know what I'm saying? Everything, meat goes through processing. You know what I'm saying? Weave goes through processing, hair goes through processing, your jeans go through a process, your clothes go through a process, your skin goes through a process. Some people had to go through the process of having pimples and then they could get beautiful skin. Some people go through the process of applying makeup. You know what I'm saying? They got to put this layer on, then they got to put that layer on, and then they got to put this layer on, and then they got to blend it together. And then when they start blending it together, and when all these different elements come together, then it's whole, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And some of you, and just right there, I think that's about it. I don't know where that came from, but just right there, you know, when you despise the process, you know, you didn't. So when you get to this, where you want it to be, right then, quick, fast, in a hurry, it breaks you. It breaks you because you're not ready. You haven't been prepared. And humans are like the most, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he has come to my church numerous amount of times, of George Dawson. He has said this: humans are the only people who don't want to go through a process. Everything in this world goes through a process, and we are the ones who just want it now. We don't understand what the process does for us. You know, like I said about that donut, had to get stretched and it had to get beat. You know, when you process something, you break it down to its lowest form. You break it down to its lowest form. Like Job, he was probably broken down to his lowest form. I know for me, how hard, if I just lost my friends and it really had, you know, affected me, how much more when you lose family, you lose all your children, you lose all your riches, you lose everything, and then you're losing your wife because your wife is not on your side. She has turned against you. You know, why don't you curse God and die because this and that, because she hasn't even went through her whole process yet. So while you're going through yours, she doesn't understand. And there are some people who don't understand. Why are you still going through this? Don't you say you serve God? Or don't you say this? Or don't you do this? Why are you going through this? You're a good person. You shouldn't have to be going through this. They don't understand because their process isn't done. And when they fully get through their process, they'll understand. And they still might not, because it's not for them to learn. It's for you to learn. It's for you to get. It's for you to be molded into something and to rise up and to tell people, even though I was at my lowest form and I had lost it all, I knew where my strength came from. I knew what I was supposed to do, and when I lost it all, when I got it back twofold, I understood how to appreciate it. You might not be appreciating some things you have right now. You might not have all the name brands, but do you know that there's somebody who doesn't even have clothes to put on their back? They don't even have soap to wash their face. They don't even have food to put on their table. Not even crumbs are falling off somebody else's table for them to eat. And you don't appreciate that right now because it seems like, hey, it's supposed to come. It's been coming all my life. But what happens when those things stop? What happens when your luck runs out? What happens when all those good grades that you always get are faced with bad grades? What happens when that test, you don't even know how to study for it? You know what I'm saying? What happens? And you feel like you're being beaten. You feel like everybody's beating against you. They're pulling you separate ways. Your one friend doesn't like this friend, so she wants you to choose, and you don't know because she didn't do anything to you, and now you're being pulled in different directions. And when you don't choose what they want you to choose, then you feel bad, and then you start to beat yourself up and you put stress on yourself. What do? You feel like everything is going wrong. You feel like the pressure is on you, the heat is on you, the room is heating up but that heat is causing you to rise up. You feel like the heat is heating up, but I want you to know that even in the flame, God said that it will not kindle upon you. It will not kindle upon you. That's in Isaiah 43. It will not kindle upon you, and that is not verbatim, but I want you to know, even in the waters, you will not be drowned. You will not be overtaken. Even when you're in over your head, he will be with you. So sometimes you might be in over your head, but if you stick with God, you have to understand that he is with you, and he makes up in your weakness. He is your strength. So when you don't measure up, when you feel like you're not enough, you need to understand that I serve a God who is enough. He made me enough. So with him on my side, I know I can get this job. I know I can do that. And it might not have came right now. Those books might not be written right now. That man might not be there right now. My marriage might not be all together right now, but I know it will be. You have to go through these pullings and these breakings. And some people don't want to do that. That's why marriages are all messed up right now, because people don't understand. Sometimes there's going to be a pulling on your marriage. Sometimes there's going to be a beating on one of those partners, and the other partner doesn't know how to uplift them. But I need you to know that you need to go to God for your help. I need you to know that it's going to be okay. And when that process fully, completely, Holy Ghost all the way through, you've been beat, you've been stretched, you've been in the heat, you've been risen, you've been, beautified, purified, and now you're whole. You see all the different things that you have within you. And why? Because you went through the process. You will never know what's in you. You will never know what you're capable of until you go through the process. So that's really all I had learned. And I want you guys to know that what you're going through right now is preparation. For me, it was late nights. It was 1,000 assignments hitting me at the same time. It was, this is a good one. It was people, and this goes back to leadership. It was people. I had said to myself one day in the car, why does everybody come to me? Like, why? But I want to be a leader. I say I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to do this. So why wouldn't I expect people to start coming to me with their problems? If 2 or 3 people are a problem for me, what am I going to do with a multitude of people? What am I going to do with a gymnasium full of people that I need to talk in front of? And then after it, people are coming up to me, telling me this, telling me that. And I'm complaining about 2 or 3 people. See, it's a process, because God's trying to see if you're ready. Because God's not going to give you something that with his name on it. Just like I wouldn't try to give you something with my name on it. Just like your job wants you to act a certain way or be in a certain esteem when you have that uniform on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to try to give you nothing and you're not ready for it. You can't despise that process. Every time something starts to be bad in your life, or you feel like it's bad, or you feel like it's uncomfortable, or you're over it, you need to say, this is preparation. Turn that negative into a positive and say, this is preparation. This is preparation to what God has for me. I don't understand right now, but I know this is preparation. Those long nights when I was staying up late, I had to say, this is preparation. I want to be a journalist, and the journalist job never ends. When you off the clock, you still are working, because you got to get those stories in by deadline. The editor doesn't care what's going on in your life. You have to get it done. This is preparation. All the coffee I drank, this is preparation, because there's going to be plenty more coffee cups in my life. This is preparation. Are you willing to go through the process? Do you trust him to get you through the process? Do you believe that the process will make you a better person in the end? Or do you want to outrun the process and destroy your future? Don't destroy your future. Don't destroy your future because you want to get to it fast. Just because you see other people getting to it, because you don't know the process that they had to go through. I remember, and I'm going to just end the video with this, but on the TD Jakes show, it was his talk show, there was like a boy, I'm just going to say 16, 17. He was a millionaire. 16, 17. He had this I guess it was like IT. It was something like that, dealing with computers and technology and something like that. He had this whole business and it had just grew so much. And I was like, man, I really need to get on it. Like, why am I not there yet? Like, I should really be doing this. And he was only this age when he started it. He said he was about 13 when he started it. And I'm just like, when I was 13, I wasn't thinking about that and this and that. And I just spent money on gel or hair products or something like that. Like, where has my money been going? I should have been doing. But I was like, even though he's young, I don't know the process he went through. And losing family members, not being accepted, feeling alone, whatever the process may be, everybody's process is not the same. And you don't know what that person had to go through. You want that person's success, but you don't know that they had to sleep on the street for 5 years. You want that person's success, but you don't know that they had to go without a meal for weeks. You don't want that person's success, but you don't know that they had to go in all types of debt just to get there. You want everybody else's, but do you want their struggle? You need to be in good standing with your process and your troubles, because 9 times out of 10 you don't want what that person had to go to be a millionaire, because it might not be for you and your way might seem a little easier than theirs. You just never know. So I just want you guys to, what I want you guys to take away from this is that don't despise small beginnings. You know, I really have to take that with me. You know, you might not be where you want to be right now, but you need to be humble because of not be ready. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be ready and not have the position than to not be ready and get presented the opportunity to have it. So don't despise your process. It's going to work out. It's going to be good. And I just hope that you guys like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, subscribe to my website. I really need you guys to subscribe to my website. Don't be neglecting my website for the vlogs, because my videos are also on the website with some more content, and some of these things I partner with written exposés and stuff like that. So do that, and remember that the documentary will be dropping on PWIs and HBCUs. The title is not declared yet, but it will be dropping May 27th exclusively on chantelsdb.com. So please be sure to do that. Check out chantelsdb.com right now. It has a new design, it has a new look, and I hope that I get to see y'all next week. I am gonna see y'all next week. So yeah.